सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः।
कृतिमहोदधौ पतनकारणं फलमशाश्वतं प्रतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मनः कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जपः चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगदईशरी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृद्देवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तदादुच्यमन्दतः चित्तजं जपध्यानमुत्तमम् ताज्यधारया स्तोत्रशासनम् सरलचिन्तनम् विरलतः परम् भेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनापिता भावनीमता भावशून्य सद्भावसुस्थिति भावनाबलात् भक्तिरुत्तमा हृस्थले मनः स्वस्थता क्रिया बोधास्य निश्चितं वायुरोदनालीयते मनः जालपक्षिवत् रोदसाधनं चित्तमायवान् चित्क्रियायुता शाखयोर्वयी शक्तिमूलका लयविनाशने उभयरोदने लयगतं पुनः भवति नो मृतं प्राणबन्धना एकचिन्तना नष्टमानसो उत्तयोगिनः कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्तिकिं यतः दृश्यमारितं दृश्यमात्मना चित्तदर्शनं तत्त्वदर्शनं मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्यवाद् वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो विद्यहं मनः भवति चिन्मता ऐपतत्यहं निजविचारणम् अहमिनासभाज्यहमहं त्वया स्मृतिवृत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत् इदमहं पदाभिक्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनकेऽप्यलयसत्तया विग्रहेन्द्रिया प्राणधीतः
तज्जडं ह्यसत्
सत्त्वभासिता
चित्कलेतया सत्तया हि चेत् चित्तयाम्यहम् द्वेषदीभिता
सत्स्वभावतो
वस्तु केवलम्
देशहानसः
स्वात्मदर्शनम्
ईशदर्शनम् स्वात्मरूपतः
आत्मसंस्थितिः स्वात्मदर्शनम् आत्मनिर्भयादात्मनिष्ठता ज्ञानवर्जिता अज्ञानहीन चिज्ञानं नास्ति किं ज्ञातुमन्तरम् किं स्वरूपम् इत्यात्मदर्शने अव्यया भव पूर्णचित्सुखम् बन्धमुक्त्यतीतं परं सुखम् विन्दतीह जीवस्तु दैविकः अहमपेतकम्
निजविभानसम्
महदिदं तपो रमणवागियम् अहमपेतकम्
निजविभानसम्
महदिदं तपो रमणवागियम्. So, till now we have seen from the 16th shloka the Jnana Yoga, and that is the main topic, which is about 15 shlokas, is going to be on Jnana Yoga. And here he has moved everything to idam vritti. So, by itself it mutes. Okay, I said in the 16th shloka, which is the basis for Jnana Yoga, very clearly, like, ego has to be completely moved out. Now, how will this happen is, there are different methods. One of the method which Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi has considered is, you see, first is aham vritti and idam vritti. From idam vritti, what gives sentiency to idam vritti is this aham vritti. Okay, this aham vritti is, idam is all the whole world, everything other than me. Who gives it existence? I give it existence. Now, who is this I? Is the reflected consciousness called the individuality or the ego. That is actually giving existence to the rest of the world. How do we know? Because when we sleep, the world is not there. So who is giving existence? It is this aham vritti which is giving idam vritti a substratum on which it can exist. Fair enough. अगर मालूम पड़ गया ये किसको पर डिपेंडेंट है, तो hold that one. So now you take this aham vritti. Then ask, what is this aham? The moment you ask the question, what is aham? Aham padati. It just falls down because that itself is a reflected image. Okay. The original consciousness which is always me, which I know at all time, is getting reflected as an individuality or aham. So the moment you ask this question, is it dependent or independent? Immediately the answer is, this is also dependent. The individuality is dependent. It depends on what? The RC depends upon OC. Which means We have to now go and hold the OC and drop the RC. But can you hold the OC? The answer is no. OC is the principle, OC is the knowledge. It is never transactable. The moment you talk of any transaction, objectification, it is only RC. So OC can never be objectified. And anything which is not objectified cannot be experienced. If it cannot be experienced, it is sarva pramana agocharaha. Then how do I know it? The only way to know it is not this, it is not this, it is not this. Then what is it? But there is something which I know it is there. Okay. So now you come to a state where this particular aham is very clearly aipatatyaham nija vicharanam aham ayam kutaha. Okay. Now we are going to move from that particular individuality, which is a reflected one, on directly to the OC and going to see what is this OC. Okay. Because even if we say OC, we should at least have an idea what is this OC, even if you may not be able to transact or experience it, because I know for sure it is there. Okay. Right. So what is the next shloka now? Ahaminashabhajahamayanta. Correct. Ahaminashabhajyahamahantaya spurati hrit swayam paramapurna sat. Ahami. What is ahami? Ahami is the one coming from aham. Okay. So what he has done now? He has given a new name, ahami, for individuality, ahankara. And the pure self OC, he is calling it as aham, first person singular. Okay. So ahami nasha bhajya, when this aham vritti is destroyed, aham taya, that original OC is the way it is. How do I know? Hridi spurati, swayam hridi spurati. Like saying that, do you need your individuality to know that I am alive? I am asking a question. If you say I am alive, is there anyone having a doubt that you are alive or not alive? All are clear? Who are here are all alive right now? If you are alive, what tells you that you are alive? Which sthula shariram or sukshma shariram is telling you that you are alive? Is your individuality telling you that you are alive? Because you are alive, you have this individuality. How can the individuality tell you are alive? Are you getting it? So, we don't need something to tell that I am alive, I am conscious. You don't need anything to tell that. Swayam bhati, by itself, it shines and tells that I am there. You may decide not to see it. That's a different thing. In Vyavahara, we don't see it. But that doesn't mean it is not there. Okay. So, when everything else, including the individuality, goes, what remains? Hridi spurati swayam, by itself, that shining aham is what it is there. And that is parama purna sat. Now, see, here itself he is giving a hint now. Don't say, my Atma is there. The moment you say, okay, everything has gone, now my OC is there, then it is not Parama Purna Sat. It is Purna Sat for me, but not Parama Purna Sat. The moment you say Parama Purna Sat, he says only that is there. Wherever you can think of, wherever this mind goes, it is sitting on it. Correct? Now you are sitting on a chair, but you get up and you walk. You are standing on the floor. So you are on something, right? Where is this RC and everything, all transaction happening? It's on the OC now. Even the RC is transacting on the OC. Blessed by the OC, the RC is transacting. Is it clear? How many OCs are there? Is going to be the question. Every person has one OC. See, this is where we are brainwashed. At a point of time, we should start asking this question, why? Then law of limitation will come. The moment you say there are more than one, Dvaitat Bhayam Bhavati, there is limitation of that one. And the definition of Atma is, it is limitless. Parama Purna Sat, then what is there to limit it? Okay. At this level, I may even agree it and keep quiet. But later on, I will say that there is one Bhagavan also. That Parabrahma is also there now. That dichotomy will start working. So he is going to consider that also now. So right now he says, what is this Atma? It is Parama Purna Sat. It is limitless, unlocalized, timeless, original consciousness, which cannot be negated entity at all. You can never negate it, because in its presence only you are also going to negate it if you want to. Like someone says, can you prove God? The answer is, in the proof of God only you are asking this question. Okay. If you are saying it can be negated, it's like you negating yourself, which is logically not going to happen. Okay. Why is it Sat? Trikale Tishtati Api Sat. Any doubt on that? Trikale Tishtati Api Sat. Why do you call this Atma as Sat first? Trikale Tishtati Api Sat. What is Trikale Tishtati Api Sat?
Present in all times.
So, how will you prove that? You are present now here. Are you present in the other room?
Goes.
Is your Atma present in the other room? See?
OC is present everywhere.
That is, you tell me you are sitting here, your OC is present there also. ऐसा हो सकता है क्या?
You are part of the OC.
Huh? You are part of the OC.
So we are a reflected consciousness.
So?
It's not that which is present everywhere. We are part of it. It's not a separate thing. It's everywhere.
What is the first statement for consciousness?
No parts.
And you are saying we are a part of it. Try whichever way you want to explain, you will get stuck. Then how do you say that I am sitting here, the Atma is everywhere? If I am sitting here, I am not sitting there, right? And how can the Atma be there?
Because it's limited by the gross body we are here, but I means what? I is also because I is we are identifying with body only.
I don't know. You get words to explain the situation. You are sitting here, yes. Are you there? No. But my Atma is present everywhere. So is the Shastra fooling you?
But that's what it isn't. It's that it cannot be described. So that's why it's hard to even express it in this term.
So it is like emperor's new clothes. You fool everyone. Because no one can see it, na? Then why should I not call my Karana Sharira itself as Atma? That's a logical way to fool people. We have to now come out of that comfort zone and just we have to go bang on it and say, yes, there is a problem now. There is a problem that I can't explain it now. Okay, tell me the statement you are sitting here. What is the statement? How will you tell I am sitting? Huh? I am sitting here. You are not in the other room. How will you tell that? Tell.
I'm not sitting there.
I am sitting here. I am not sitting there. What is common to both these?
I am.
Am. That amness is trikale tishtati iti sat. I am there. I am not there. Are you able to get that? That is how you are transacting that particular I with that am word there. And that am doesn't change any time. Am or is will never change. Your meaning of I can be different, but am and is never changes. Huh? Sometimes I call my I as body, sometimes I call my I as my mind, whatever, but that am doesn't change. That isness doesn't change. That is how we are transacting that particular. Think about it. Without this am and this, can you make that sentence referring to you? Any situation, these two will not change. Okay. It is getting difficult now because, what are you referring to? Am is just a conjunction in between. Yeah, but that is the main thing which is actually connecting. That is that Atma part, not the I. I am. It is. That is what is connecting the whole thing. That doesn't change. Rest everything after that will change. Put the time frame, put the place frame, put whatever you want, including Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. The statement will still have these. If you say I am not there in Laya state, you have put I am again there. I am there in Srishti, I am. I am there in Sthiti, I am. I am not there in Laya, I am. Think about it. Are you getting it? That's the only way we have to understand it. Because it's a principle. Any other thing you will do, you will objectify it, which becomes individuality. This am and this is not an objectified thing. In English, this am and is never objectified. The part of the subject. Yes or no? Either you all are lost, you all are able to understand, or not able to understand. क्या करने का है बोलो? Don't just be blank.
Am and is help to objectify.
They are not objectified. Am will remain am because it's the subject. I am will go together. It is will go together only. Okay. Let's go ahead. Not necessary that all questions are going to get resolved, because we are now actually going to the real crux of the thing, which the way Ramana Maharshi puts also is very tough. We need to go step by step through the Upanishads. But ठीक let us keep this in mind that we are referring to that I which is OC. Okay. So now this particular is first, whatever is, see, there are three different ways to express this Atma. Okay, that is Satchidananda. What is Satchidananda? It is called the Swarupa Lakshanam. If you remember, not Tatastha Lakshanam. It's the Swarupa Lakshanam of Atma. Trikale tishtati ti sat. If only it is present, then it can have knowledge, it need not have knowledge. Sentiency can be there, sentiency need not be there. Correct? That is why for insentient Jada Tattvam we say it is present. But when it comes to me, I am present, you say. Because there is Chit Swarupa also along with Sat. I am present, but it is a Chit because I am sentient and I am knowledgeable about it. Are you getting it? Jnana Swarupa it is. Whatever is Jnana Swarupa has to be Sat. If it's not present itself, where is the question of knowledge? So knowledge presupposes presence first. Suppose I tell you, when you were sleeping, all this happened. You say, I don't know. Why? I am not knowledgeable. Why? In reality, I was not present there. Although I was physically present, but I am not sentient about the whole thing. What is happening there? Right? So if you have to be sentient, you have to be present. So Chit presupposes Sat. Correct? Anything which has got Sat and Chit only can have Ananda. You never can talk of Ananda, Chit, Sat. The basic Rupa first is Sat. And that Sat only is being shown as sentiency, which is called Chit. And this Chit is only Ananda Swarupa, which is Paramapurna. So now you see, Paramapurna Sat is Satchidananda Swarupa is actually telling here. Okay, so he says the moment you understand what is Atma, you will agree that it is nothing other than its Swarupa Lakshanam, which is Satchidananda, which is Parama Purna Sat. Are you able to get this? Now, from there, what does he do? He says, the 21st shloka, Idam aham pada abhikyam anvaham ahamilinake api laya sattaya. Okay. Idam is what? This Satchit Atma. Idam. This Atma, which I have now understood. Because now there is no Ahankara and all. We are only talking about Atma now. OC. It is Satchit Swarupa, which is very clear. Parama Purna Sat. Aham Pada Abhikyam. That is the real meaning of when I say Aham. That Aham, earlier what did I do? I called this Aham as Ahankara. Step 1, Idam Vritti. Second step, Aham Vritti. Aham Vritti is what I called Ahankara. From there I asked the question, what is Aham? I understood that Ahami went off. And only Aham remained. Okay. This particular OC is Satchit Swarupa. And when I say I, it is never the RC. It is always that sentient principle is what I always refer to in any of my transactions or anything. That is what actually I am referring to. But I show it as though it is the ego which I am referring to or the individuality. But in my mind it is that my sentiency is what I am actually referring to. So what is the meaning of I here? That is how he has clarified that aham pada abhikyam. That is the real meaning of the word I. Okay. And anu aham. That small I is there na. Anu aham. Ahamilinake api. That this ego in the deep state, see, ahami linake api, this ego, ahankara, aham vritti, it resolves in this deep sleep state. Okay. Apilaya sattaya, and only that I, that which I mentioned as that OC remains. He is coming back to compare these two together. Once you understand what is aham, the true capital I, in presence of this true capital I, if I have to give a name to ahankara, I will call it anu aham, which is small I. Are you able to get this? Because this small I is borrowing sentiency from capital I and is present. समझ में आ रहा है? Are you able to get this? I'll repeat again. This Parama Purna Sat, once I understand, then I need to confirm what is it. Okay. When I know very clearly that this is the true I, which is the OC, then I have to give a name for the other one which I had earlier called myself as Aham. So I am now calling it as Anu Aham. And the Chota, oh, अरे ये तो main है, ये उसका छोटा भाई है. How do I know this? Am I fooling myself? No. when I go to sleep, ये छोटा चेतन भी सो जाता है. It doesn't exist. When I go to sleep, this individuality goes off. But still I am sleeping. That means what is present? Only this capital I is present. From this I know very clearly that the small I, the transacting I, depending on capital I, and hence I will call it Anu Aham. Is it clear? Because I can go back and get confused between the small I and capital I. So I need to give two names because earlier both were called Ahama. What did he do in the earlier two stages back? He very clearly called that individuality as Aham. Now there is a problem. The person will say, is individuality Aham or OC is Aham? So he says, okay, now let us give two names to it. This is capital I, this is small I. OC is capital I, RC is small I. And RC depends on OC. Why? During sleep, RC is resolved, but OC remains. Is this clear? So, aham pada. Here now he is talking of the pada. Aham pada. Okay. Now, two ways you can take here. You know what is a pada?
It says idam aham, not adam.
Huh? Idam aham. Huh.
Idam aham.
Correct. Idam, this I. Which I now is referring? Capital I. Idam aham. This I now is like when you tell na, are not that I, this I am referring to. Like we now give it two names RC and OC. But he has given the name as I only. So for him now he has to segregate this and call it as, he says now this I which I am referring to you, which is Paramapurna Sat, Idam aham. Okay. That aham pada, idam aham pada. What is this pada? Now pada can have two meanings. The word padam has one meaning. Status is another meaning. Whichever way you go, it will fit. What is the status I am giving to this I, or what am I calling this I as? Are you getting it? So, Anupadam is of a lower status, or I am calling it as a small I. Both are correct. So, beautifully it fits there. That word Padam, he is bought it there. Aham Pada Bhikyam Anvaham. Aham Pada Abhikyam. The real meaning. That is why Anu Aham, like Ahami Leenake, daily. Anu Aham, Ahami Leenake, when this ego or Ahankara Vritti in deep sleep, it is going Apya Laya, it is going in Laya. What remains? Sattaya. That Satta is the only one which is there, which is indestructible. Okay. Ahami leenake, ahami. See, idam aham. Aham is OC, ahami RC, or anu aham. Anvaham. 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 Anvaha is also meaning daily. Anvahamasa. Anu aham. No, it is anvaham. Okay. Bhikyam anvaham. Every day when I go to sleep, this particular stuff is suddenly going off, and what is remaining is only that I. From that I know very clearly that I am that ever experienced capital I or Atma, OC. Is it clear? Okay.
Sir, one question, sir. So here further to the last correction that you made, okay, so we are saying
Anvaham. Anvaham actually means daily.
daily, okay, and we are calling small I as
Ahami.
okay.
Okay. Because he can't give two names here. Anu Aham and Ahami two cannot be. Anvaham is every day. Every day when I go to sleep, laya. Ahami laya, api laya, sattaya. Only that aham sattaya remains. Okay, that is why it is sat. Paramapurna sat he mentioned. Na? That is where he is clarifying that it is sat. It is still present when everything else is gone. Now he gives the next way, which is the traditional way of understanding it. Yeah.
And laya means not present or far away.
Sleeping. Laya. Small laya is sleeping. Big laya is death. Still further big laya is pralaya. Simple. Laya means stop. When things are stopped. Okay. Now he goes to the traditional Upanishadic route of telling the same thing, which is Panchakosha Viveka. Okay. He is going to next shloka is Panchakosha Viveka. By this method, to understand what Atma is. If the earlier shloka is over, can we go ahead? Vigrahendriya pranadhitamaha na aham eka sat tat jadam hi asat. Very clear meaning here. Vigraha, see, Vigraha, Indriya, Prana, Dhi, Tamaha. Are you able to get this? Vigraha, Indriya, Prana, Dhi, Tamaha. Vigrahendriya, Prana, Dhi, Tamaha. Okay. Now we have to rearrange this. First is Vigraha, then Prana, then Indriya, then Dhi, then Tama. What is Vigraha? What is Vigraha? Do you know what is Vigraha?
Statue. Statue? What statue?
Statue. Statue means what?
Representation of something that you keep like God. God custom.
What? Means what? What of God?
Sir. Representation of God?
What of God you are representing there?
Body.
Exactly. It is just the physical form of body. Because whenever you see it, you should know that God in that physical form. That is why you put that physical form and leave it. So Vigraha means Annamaya Koshaha. Are you able to get this? See how nicely it is connected. Vigraha is Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha ka. Unmute and tell.
Anna Rasaneva Bhutva.
Anna Rasaneva Vriddhim Prapya Anna Rupam Yat Prathivyam Viliyate Sa Annamaya Kosha. Correct? So, we'll go by words. Vigraha. Okay. Then what is the second I said? Prana. What is prana? Pranamaya Kosha. Correct? Third word is Indriya. What is Indriya? What is Indriya?
Sense organs.
Manomaya Kosha?
How can you tell that?
Manomaya Kosha.
Okay, let's consider it Manomaya Kosha. How can you tell that?
Because the sense organs feeds everything to the mind. So
Correct. Manashasthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. Bhagavad Gita tells Manashasthani indriyani. Mind is the sixth indriya. So when he says indriya, nothing wrong. It means mind. Think. Wherever you want, you can get these connections beautifully. Okay. So third one is Manomaya Kosha or Indriya. He has given the word Indriya for it. What is fourth?
Question. Should we consider mind as a whole? Because weeks ago we talked about it doesn't exist, right? It's a bunch of thoughts. It's what we consider mind. Should we? I thought in Upadesa Saaram we said don't think of mind as another entity.
For what? For what? For sadhana, for upasana. Here what are we doing? Understanding Atma. So as a common person, you are going to the logic, because your transaction is through 5 personalities of yours. The transaction is going to be there, right? So someone can say that I am transacting, me the Atma is transacting through all this. Because this is how the regular way is the Upanishadic way, which is the Panchakosha Viveka, only you go towards the Atma. Suddenly he says mind is not there, this is not there, and then go to the base of it. Okay, he went through that route. But someone is going to, so even to clarify, you take this also, doesn't matter. Okay. So if you are saying, now if you tell mind itself is not there, I will go 2 steps earlier. Is body there then? Correct? So Paramarthika Drishtya, nothing is there. The 5 koshas itself is not there. But to tell that only is putting this. To tell it is not there, you have to tell it.
Understood.
Correct? So let's assume it is there, because the second line will tell what it is. In the first line only the 5 names are given. Annamaya Kosha, which is Vigraha, Prana, which is Pranamaya Kosha, Indriya, which is Manomaya Kosha. Then fourth Vijnanamaya is Dhi, Buddhi, Dhi, intellect. And fifth is Tamaha. What is Tamas?
Anandamay Kosha, Ajnana. Anandamay Kosha is Ajnana.
Where did this come? How do you know Anandamaya Kosha is Ajnana? Linked to Karana Sharir. What is Ajnana there? This is a tricky question. Huh? If you tell Karana Sharir is Ajnana, then the answer is wrong. Why do you call it as Ajnana?
Does it have the knowledge of I?
Of Atma. That Ajnana is there. Even in Karana Sharir, Atma Jnana is not there. And how is this called in Tattva Bodha? Here when you connect it, you get beautiful answers. Prajnana Ghana. That word Prajnana Ghana comes there in Anandamaya Kosha. Or Karana Sharira it will come. Prajnana Ghana, Anandamaya Kosha it will come. Sure. That means ignorance is filled in that Anandamaya Kosha. Why? The true knowledge of Aham is not there. Or the wrong knowledge of Aham is there, which is giving me that so-called Ananda, which is ephemeral, not true. Because if that Anandamaya Kosha was true Ananda, then I will not call it Anandamaya Kosha. Correct? Hopefully you all understand what is the difference between Kosha, Mana and Manomaya Kosha, Anna and Annamaya Kosha, Prana and Pranamaya Kosha. Anyway, topic of Tattva Bodha. Go back to Tattva Bodha if you are not able to know that. Okay. So, Prana Vigrahendriya Pranadhi Tamaha. Now the second line he says, Na aham ek naham eka sat. Correct? Aham eka sat. Na vigrahendriya pranadhitama. Why? Tat jadam hi asat. नहीं समझा? Okay, now I am going to rephrase this. Aham eka sat. Aham ekam sat. Na vigrahendriya pranadhi tava tat jadam hi asat. Clear meaning now? Why? Meaning is clear, but why?
Saying who sees the reality, everything else is wrong.
Why?
See,
Because they don't exist without the Atma.
Yeah, but I can always consider aham as a part of it. Aham is an indestructible part of it. Anyway, it is my ignorance, right? I can go to any level of ignorance. So I consider my Annamaya Kosha is a sentient Annamaya Kosha and it has got its independent sentiency. My Pranamaya Kosha is independent sentient Pranamaya Kosha.
But it cannot be destroyed, right? These things can be destroyed. And the principle is that it cannot be destroyed. These things are all destroyable.
Exactly. This is where the question comes, which tells that first one, Sat Trikale Tishtati Pi Sat. Trikale Abadhita Sat. You cannot destroy it at any time. Because all these, they come and go. Koshas come and go. They change. But what makes me call my kosha as mine is that sentiency which is lending a principle to these as though they are by itself alive. When I say, I am a hot-tempered person. Who gave your hot temperament a life? When you ask that question, is your hot temperament permanent? No. In this Janma it is there. In the next Janma, who said it is going to be there? What happens to all this when you are sleeping? All of this has gone. Where is your hot temperament? Gone. Getting it? So, the other ways, if you go with the Panchakosha Viveka, it becomes easy to go step by step rather than saying mind is bunch of thoughts. Remove the thought, mind itself is not there. Namana, leave it, don't bother about it. Go to the base which is giving sentiency to the thought itself. Getting very difficult. He says, go by this route also, you will come there only. It's vichara. You have to do vichara. And when you do a vichara, you finally come there. Because there are many ways to come to Atma. That path doesn't matter. All are jnanam only. That is why so many examples are there. Dream example is there. Panchakosha Viveka examples are there. Dream and wake up state. Deep sleep state. Avasthatraya. Shariratraya. Kosha Panchakam. So many ways are there to go to Atma. Okay? Right. So after this, Vigrahendriya Vigrahendriya Pranadhitama. So he completes this and then he says, I am that Sakshi Chaitanya and the rest depend on me. Okay. Panchabhutani also, if you take Prathivyapas Tejo Vayurakasha, they all are in the Jada form. Okay. Right. 1 minute. Okay. Then Sattva Bhasika Chitkwa Vetara Sattaya Hichit Chittayamyaham. Chittayahyaham, whichever is correct. Okay. Sattva Bhasika. Kvava Itara from Chit. Sattaya Hichit and Chittaya Aham. Now what is he doing is he is separating Sat, Chit and Aham. And then he is joining Sat and Chit and then he is saying that Sat and Chit is nothing else other than Aham. For a person at a very, very gross level will feel that what is this? You have already proven that I na. फिर उसको बैठ के क्यों now you are further dissecting it? But these are Mananam related questions which will come later. So, few clarifications are given here. It may not be that important for us today. Later on when we start going, when that Prashna Uttara Shrinkala will start, why it cannot be taken like this, look at this, Upanishad talks that way. Then you will say, oh, this is the way it has to be proven. That is the time you will say, oh, that is why he has written this shloka here. Today for us, it is taken for granted we are OC. We are OC बोल के it's taken for granted. It is faking and making knowledge what we have today. Not the true knowledge. If it was a true knowledge, then any question asked you should be able to answer it. But if every question I have a doubt on it that I can't answer, then it only says ki till now nice brainwash has happened that you are continuing for 3 years. And that's how it is. Fake it and make it. It starts that way. So when it comes to very, very in deep where you want to look at it, because for you everything will be in the same as of now. So some of these we'll have to just take it, okay, it is a Mananam related, we'll have to go, because otherwise you will not really understand why these 3 words are used there. Satchitananda, 3 words itself need not be, you could have used 10 words. Correct? So for this, some of these shlokas are there because they are now getting into real Mananam followed by Nididhyasanam. Because once you come to that Aham and that is clear, then Ishvara is pending still. वो बैठा है उधर, अभी तक स्कोप में आया नहीं है. समझ में आ रहे? अभी तक me, I am only just talking about me, my Atma. उसका आगे गया नहीं है. And that Atma is everywhere बोल दिया है. तो वो बेचारा क्या करेगा उधर बैठ के? अरे मेरे को भी थोड़ा जगह दो, सब जगह तुम्हारे ही आत्मा है तो मैं किधर हूँ? That question will come na. So all this will be answered. So what we will do is, it's 9 o'clock. We will take this Sattva Bhasika Chit, yeah, the Sattvabhasika, Chitva Vetara, we will take it in the next class. From 23rd on, we will continue in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.